Hey guys, welcome back to another PSA. So as you can see from the title of the video below, and probably from the thumbnail, which is why you clicked here, today's video is a PSA about Mean Girls. So before we jump into this, I do want to kind of throw up a disclaimer that in the last video that I did about girl gamers, there were some comments below that said that I was tailoring it just to female, and that a lot of the men who watch my channel, or the guys who watch my channel, felt like they were kind of ignored and that the video wasn't tailored to them as well. So I want to just briefly talk about Mean Girls because it's not just girls. Mean Girls can have a variety of definitions. It can mean things differently to different people. So when I think about Mean Girls, I don't think about just girls. I think of the movie Mean Girls, which hopefully you guys have seen. And funny to me enough, it was a movie that I watched when I was like in high school / college 10 years ago. So this is still something that's an issue today, which I don't think is something that's going to be solved short term. Alas, hopefully you've seen Mean Girls, the movie, and so you're kind of able to pull out some references that I'm going to talk about. But when I think about Mean Girls, I think about kind of the Regina Georges. And that's not to say the popular kids, because there are tons of popular kids who are kind and sweet and nice. I went to high school, and a lot of the popular kids were involved in community service. They were in student council. They were friendly. They were kind. When I think of the Regina Georges, what I'm talking about are people who have ulterior motives for actions that they do. They do things with the intent to hurt other people, whether it's a comment, whether it's an action, whether it's something that they do to have a negative effect on somebody else, for whatever reason that is. And that being said, I don't think that that's an issue that's just for girls. I think that that issue applies to men. I think it applies to boys. I think it applies to girls. It applies to grown women. It applies to gay, straight, black, white, whoever. I think everybody is kind of included in the Mean Girls category. So when I'm talking about this, though I may reference people, because this video is spawned from some questions and some advice that I was asked on my Tumblr account, I may be saying she a lot, but I'm talking about kind of the proverbial community she, and not just, men or women or, teenagers or adults, because this is something that happens to adults as well as school kids. So that's what I want to talk about today, is just kind of the Mean Girls mentality and the way that people go about that, and things that I don't think that, especially for those of you who are in high school, middle school, according to YouTube demographics, many of you are in that middle school to high school range, but this is certainly applicable to people in the grown workplace. We've all kind of experienced that Mean Girls mentality when we've been in the workplace and people are trying to progress in their jobs. It's not something that any of us are immune to. So that's what I wanted to talk about in today's video, because I do think that sometimes people just, they don't realize. I mean, I think they know what they're doing, but there are so many layers and things to think about when it comes to the repercussions of our actions, that I just wanted to do a short video and kind of encourage those of you out there who may be guilty of some Mean Girls mentality. I know that we've all done things in the past. Not a single one of us has gone through our entire lives and been perfect and never hurt someone's feelings. So I can't be up here and being like, I've never been mean. I am sure that there are times where I've accidentally hurt someone's feelings, but what I can say is that I've never gone out of my way to intentionally hurt someone else. I've never tried to start rumors. I've never done any of that, because I know how that feels. I have been the victim of that, as we all probably have, and call me naive, call me crazy, whatever you want to call me. I've never ever understood how making someone feel worse about themselves makes you feel better. I always just end up feeling guilty when I know that I've hurt someone's feelings, and I feel sad, and it's never intentional. So I can't say that I've ever intentionally done it, but I'm sure that at some point along the lines I've hurt someone's feelings on accident. I'm sure that I have. But so to those of you out there who are guilty of kind of doing this on the regular, what I would caution to you is this. There are times in our lives where our actions immediately impact us. And there are times in our life where the actions that we do and the things that we do and the things that we say don't take effect for a really, really long time. And the things that you say today and the things that you do tomorrow may not affect you today or tomorrow, but eventually they will. And over time, the actions that don't seem to have any effect will build and build and build and build. So even if you have a sarcastic type of personality and you kind of throw these like small jabs and these small insults, just a little one at a time, and it doesn't seem to bother someone, and oh, they didn't mind, when I called them dumb that one time, so I'm gonna do it again because they obviously don't care. After you do it, 10 and 15 and 20 times, eventually that starts to wear down on someone. And sometimes it takes 15, 20, 50 times for them to get fed up. And then that's when the result of your actions comes crashing down on you. And sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes you may say, yeah, you're an idiot, and you really think that person did something stupid. But sometimes you say it and you're joking. So just be aware that everything has a consequence, whether you see it now or you see it 50 times down the road. Everything that you do has a consequence, whether it's a positive or a negative consequence. So you have the ability, when you speak, to choose your words. You have the ability to be nice or to be not nice. And I think the frustrating thing about this whole topic is that I've tried to talk about this in the past, and people are like, oh, Ari, you just need to, stop being so naive. People are always going to be mean, and people are always going to do this. And while, yes, that's true, I think that some people are born to be more optimistic, and some people are born to be more pessimistic. Some people are born nice, and some people are born mean. I think a lot of people just don't have a perspective. You're here for a limited number of moments in your life. And those limited number of moments go by every single second. And everything that you say and everything that you do is one less moment you have until the end of your life. So if I'm only here for a limited number of moments, I want to spend those moments with the people that I care about, telling them that I care about them. I don't want to waste those moments on people that I maybe don't like, telling them how much I dislike them, because one day somebody else's moments are going to be gone, or my moments are going to be gone, and I don't want to waste it on nothing. I don't want to waste it on being pointless. So think about that. When you have the option of being nice or being not nice, nobody makes those words come out of your mouth. You make those words come out of your mouth. So when you have the choice to make that moment something, choose to make it a positive one. Don't choose to make it negative. Don't choose to make it hurtful. Choose to make it good. That being said, I think that it's important to note that you don't always have to like someone. I think that that's a big misconception, is that people think that when you say you should be nice, it means that you should like everybody, which isn't the case at all. You don't have to like someone. You don't have to be, friends with everybody. And there are going to be times where you don't like. There are people I don't like. But being nice to someone that you don't like isn't being a pushover. It's not being fake. It's not being, not being like a backstabber. Being nice to somebody that you dislike, it's called being mature. It's called being a grown-up, being kind, being empathetic, being on the high road. It's not anything, there's nothing wrong with being nice to somebody that you don't like. Like I said, you have a limited number of moments, and maybe the reason that person doesn't like you is because you haven't been nice to them in the past. Maybe the reason you don't like that person is because they haven't been nice to you. Like, what are you doing to, stop the cycle of being mean to each other if you just continue being mean to each other? Like, at some point, that cycle has to end. And why would you choose to be the person that continues it when you can be the person that stops it? That's just my thought on that. But I hope that those of you out there who have been victim to this mean girl mentality realize that a lot of the time, it's not you. A lot of the time, you have nothing to do with it, and people are going to dislike you because you're in a certain position, or because you made varsity and they didn't make varsity, and so they're it's not jealousy, it's that they're insecure about that and they choose to take it out in the wrong way. There have been times where I myself have gotten comments about, you know, not liking me or not doing something, not because of my personality, not because of, you know, whatever game that I played or whatever person I was playing with. It happened to be because they were mad that, you know, I was on a specific server, or they were mad that I was playing a certain game. It has nothing to do with me. It's just I'm in an opportunity that they don't like, and that's nothing that you can help. So if you've been victim to that, or you've, you know, had somebody do something to you that made you think, oh, that's a mean girl, whether it's a boy or a girl or a grown-up or a kid, just realize that a lot of the time it's not even you. So when somebody is mean to you, or when somebody does something, it's not your fault. It is not your fault when someone is mean to you. Again, being nice to somebody who's mean to you doesn't make you a pushover. It makes you mature. So choose to be mature. Choose to use your moment wisely. Don't waste it continuing that vicious cycle of just being mean to each other. It doesn't do any good. Life is hard enough as it is. We struggle enough with our own insecurities, with our own struggles, with our own home lives that people don't even realize. Why would you make it even harder by continuing to just spread this circle of meanness? It doesn't do anything positive. So my last thing that I want to close with is that when you think that somebody is mean, or you think that somebody is someone you don't like, or you make an assumption about somebody, the concept "don't judge a book by its cover" is very true. It rings true about a lot of things. Think of it this way: a lot of people are like, I hate books, I don't look at book covers. Have you ever gone to a movie and seen a preview, and the preview looked just phenomenal, and then you go see the movie and it just is absolutely sucky and it's horrible? It's kind of the inverse of that, where you can't judge a movie just by the trailer, right? So if you want to get to know someone, or you want to know how the movie is, go see it. You want to know what somebody is about? Go meet them, go talk to them, go learn about their life before you just look at them and make a judgment. Oh, she's popular, she must be a mean girl. No, that girl could be super duper nice. She could be in the National Honor Society and like the most awesome chick you've ever met. Don't look at that, you know, band geek and be like, oh, that band geek's such a geek, blah, blah, blah. That person could be me. You know what I mean? Like, that person may not be like this antisocial person that you think they are because they're in band. Stop judging books by their cover. Stop saying that person is this, or that person is that, or she's too girly, or, you know, this person is gay, or this person is, you know, too macho. You're judging books by the cover, and that in itself isn't doing any good either. What matters is how you are towards other people. So again, choose to be the person that spends those moments and those limited moments that we have in a positive way. Stop judging people. Stop trying to make people miserable so that you can feel better about yourself, which is something I will never understand. Just be nice to each other, and let's try to make this whole Mean Girls thing a joke, and let's make it something that we don't have to continuously face. Because for my daughter's sake, she's in school and I see her already dealing with other kids in her class that say mean things to her. Let's stop that. Let's figure out how we can get past all this crap and just be nice to each other. You have the option. Take advantage of it.